Hello, my name is Jacob Vallejo, and today we're going to be covering power chords. This is going to be a two-part video. The first video is going to be covering open power chords, and the second video is going to be covering movable power chords. So starting off, we need to know how to build a power chord. And what is a power chord? A power chord is just a two-note power chord which consists of the root letter name, letter note, and a fifth away from that. So if we were building a power chord, let's say starting on G, a power chord is going to be 3.5 steps away, 3 whole steps and a half step away from that note. So if we go one whole step to A, a whole step from A to B, one more whole step to C sharp, and then a half step, D. So our power chord starting on G is going to have a G and then a D. On the guitar, instead of, we can't play those two notes on the same string, we're going to have to switch to the 5th string for that note. So if I was building this power chord starting right here on G, then my D, I could play that D right here. So in this video, we're going to be learning how to build them in the open position. So if I had my low E right here, I went up a whole step, which would be F sharp, whole step, G sharp, whole step, A sharp, then a half step, B. Or you can think of it as 7 steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 half steps away from whatever note you're starting on. That B, we can play it right here on the 5th string. So in order to play an open power chord, we're going to strum the 6th string and the 5th string together to form that 2-note power chord. Just like that. And in music, the way that's going to be written, it would be, you would see it as an E and then a number beside it, 5. So you would see, if I was playing an E5 power chord, it would be those 2 strings together, an E and then the 5th away from that, which is the B. Okay? When we're playing a power chord on the 5th string, we can do that same shape. We just bring our 2nd finger down to the 4th string and press the 2nd fret down. And so this would be playing an A5 power chord because the 5th string open is A. And the 5th away from A is E. So we're playing A and E together. So this would be an A5 power chord. Just like that. And we can use the same shape going down again to the next string, pressing down the 3rd string, 2nd fret. And because 4th string open is D, we're playing a D5 power chord. Okay? So for those 3 sets, we're going to be playing just 2nd fret. Okay? Now when we switch over, and I'll pause right here just real quick, just to let you know, a lot of times in rock music and pop and everything in general, you're going to be playing these power chords mainly primarily on those strings, but you can play these power chords on the other strings, and I'll show you right now. The trick here is what happens is when we go to the 3rd string to do a power chord, we build it up. Let's say we're going to play the G again, referring to the G up here. The note that we're going to need is a D to form that power chord. So 3rd string open is G. D is going to be not on the 2nd fret though, that's C sharp. So we're going to have to press down the 3rd fret to form that power chord. So it's a little different from the 2nd fret open positions like this. In order to play this power chord, we're going to have to press down using our 3rd finger, playing that power chord like that. Okay? When we move to the last 2 strings, it's going to revert back to the 2nd fret form to play the power chord. Okay? So we have a B5 power chord, a G5 power chord, a D5 power chord, A5 power chord, and an E5 power chord. Okay? So that's your basic 2-note power chord. Now what I like to do when you get that down is I like to add in my 3rd finger below it. Okay? And what you're adding is the octave away from the root. So this is E, this is my power, this is the note B that forms a power chord, and then I'm adding E on top of that. Okay? And I just like to add that on the power chords. It gives it a much just fuller sound. Okay? And you'll see bands like Metallica and Megadeth and stuff, bands such as that, will just use sometimes just the 2-note power chord, but you'll see a lot of other bands that will use the 3-note power chord. Okay, so you can do that, and you can do that the same for the 5th string power chord, adding in the power chord just like that. Now when you get to the D, you're going to add in, you could add it in right here. Okay, and so you're starting to see kind of like the, almost like your open chords that you would see like an E chord, an A chord, or A minor. So you have that shape, or a D. So right now if you wanted to just do a power chord without adding in the 3rd, you would just play those 3 strings. Okay, so that's it. That concludes my video about open power chords. Okay, thanks for watching.